Money FM 89.3. Best of Friday Night Live. Friday Night Fibbing.
It's that time again. I will share a story to Naz and the nation, and he and you must decide if it's the truth or indeed Friday Night Fibbing. WhatsApp 88550893. Send in your questions, your queries. Help Naz, because what's the score? I know it's quite... James will tell us.
The WhatsApp.
One of our lists. Oh, here we go. Yeah. James, thank you. Friday Night Fibbing update. Neil, 17. Mm-hmm. Dan / Nuz, 13. So I'm 4 in the lead. 4 in the lead.
What happened last week?
No, last week he got it right. I think I got it wrong, so he got one back. It was 5.
Oh.
It was 5. Now it's down to 4.
Oh, thank
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I am.
Right. This is me keeping in theme with the... oh, yeah, you need this, don't you? I apologise. Yes. Give him the phone. So you WhatsApp your comments to Nuz. Right. With my new book out, I was thinking about all my book launches and things over the years.
Oh, brother, get a grip.
And it reminded... ego, right? It reminded me of a great story. Great story, right? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
So I, Neil Humphreys,
Okay.
at my own book launch at Kinokuniya, was mistaken for the well-known Singapore comedian, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
You know Mr. Brown?
The one that wrote the...
He does all the funny videos as the uncle and all that, right? And I had to pretend for an entire conversation that I was Mr. Brown because I didn't want to hurt this guy's feelings and say, you're actually wrong. I'm not Mr. Brown.
Okay.
I'm Neil Humphreys.
Right.
And so for 5 minutes, while I was signing my own books at the table at Kinokuniya, I had to pretend that I was someone else. And he went away delighted, this uncle, that he'd met Mr. Brown.
Wow.
That's my story. Begin your interrogation.
My first question is...
Yes.
How did he think that you were Mr. Brown? How did the interaction start?
Well, my young Gen Z friend... Are you Gen Z?
Yes.
Right. This is pre-social media.
Correct.
So our faces were not slapped on TikTok screens and Instagram screens every 4 seconds. No, I'm making the point. So this book was, what book year did it came out? This book was Final Notes from a Great Island. That came out in 2006. It's my so-called heyday.
The peak of Mr. Brown as well.
Exactly. And we were writing for a newspaper at that time, and we both had humour columns in the same newspaper.
Humour columns?
Humour columns.
Okay, educate me a little bit. What is that? And
I'll ignore that comment. No, I won't. Well, there's this thing called a column in a newspaper.
Yes.
And you make it funny.
Right.
So you write a funny story in a column and you do it every week.
No, the reason why I asked that is because I'm trying to figure out who's funnier, Mr. Brown or Neil Humphreys.
Oh, Mr. Brown. Anyway, so we had a column in the same newspaper.
Okay.
Now, in those days, no photo bylines. We just had caricatures, so just sketches.
Yes.
But we had no photos, so nobody actually knew what Mr. Brown looked like then, really. Everybody knows now, obviously, but this is nearly 20 years ago.
Okay.
And what had happened was, I'd done my book signing. It had finished. Nice big queue, lots of books, signy, everybody goes. After a signing, this is pretty standard, you stay back at the bookstore and kindly sign books for the store to display, right? So your so-called people who know you, fans, friends, family, they've all gone. So now it's just regular strangers.
Yes.
Just shopping.
Yeah.
And occasionally you might even sell an extra book or two because someone just wants a signed book by an author, even if they don't know who you are.
Yep,
they
that's
just
right.
think, all right, signed book by an author, I'll take it. So this guy comes over, and he didn't know who I was, clearly. I'm just some random author signing books. But he puts 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
Ang Mo, Singapore book, signing, Kinokuniya.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown is an Ang Mo name.
Yeah.
He just went, oh, Mr. Browner. And the staff at Kino were about to interrupt him, and I could see his little face, the uncle's face. He was so happy to have met Mr. Brown that I didn't have the heart to. I just went. I didn't actually speak at first. I just kind of nodded and kind of went, oh, that column you wrote last week, so funny. Yeah, that one about the whatever. And I just kept nodding because I didn't have the heart to. But then I did that thing where I nodded so much it was too much. I couldn't go back now because I've nodded like 4 or 5 times.
Right.
Oh, I remember that column you did about this and that. Oh, so funny and this and that. I couldn't then go back after 2 minutes and say, actually, I'm not Mr. Brown. I'm Neil Humphreys.
Well, you got to just ride.
So I just kept going. And then it went on and on and on. And he was like, oh, do you remember that column when you wrote about your wife or you did this? And now I'm talking about somebody else's wife. You know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
What an awkward conversation that was.
I remember that thing with the wife in the HDB flat. Not my wife, not my HDB flat, but you're just going and going and going.
See, Neil, these days we have a name for those type of people.
Yeah, cheaters, con men.
I wasn't going to say that. I'm not a married man myself, but
fraudsters.
Yeah, cheaters is the correct word. But anyways, wow, the WhatsApp is quiet. Guys, help me out here. WhatsApp in 8855-0893. I need your help because Neil sounds very convincing. But the thing is... your story has a lot of plausibility, but at the same time, I have this feeling that you're fibbing. So I'm going to follow up with the next question.
Sure.
And at any point of time, did you try to hint that you are not Mr. Brown, or did anybody try to intervene?
Yes, that is a very good question.
Okay.
So I'm very impressed with your perception. Yes, this lovely sweet lady called Get Hui, who organised all of my book launches at Kinokuniya, she went across to interrupt and she said, actually, and she said the word actually, and I could see what she was going to do. I just gave her that eye contact. I didn't actually speak.
Okay.
And not in a patronising way. I just gently kind of ushered her away, like, it's okay. This guy is like in his 70s.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. He seems very happy to have met Mr. Brown. And he's been talking about it for now like 2 minutes. If I now come in and say, or the publisher comes in and says, this is not Neil Humphreys, the uncle's going to, this is not Mr. Brown. The uncle's going to lose face.
Yeah.
It's going to be very awkward, very embarrassing. Just play this out and hope he's not standing there for an hour because I'm going to have to know this Mr. Brown's entire life history. And I don't. So it was a good question. The staff at Kino did kind of intervene. They sort of stepped across to say, sometimes they do that anyway because if someone's taken up time for ages and ages and you have to sign. But in this case, I was just a bit, it's fine. Just leave it, it's fine.
So you're being very kind so that you were not trying to, ruin a person's day.
Yeah.
Futurin has a question, Neil. He says, what book was it? Like, do you remember the exact book?
Yes, it was Final Notes from a Great Island. It was my peak, Futurin. It was 2006 because both myself and Mr. Brown had newspaper columns at the same time, both very popular in the same newspaper. And it wasn't uncommon. I have to add that part. It wasn't uncommon back then because Mr. Brown is such an Angmo sounding name, right? And people don't realise it's his nickname and that's not, he's got a Chinese name. It was his nickname. So they see Mr. Brown and they see my face. They just assume I'm Mr. Brown, right? Because all Angmos look the same and sound the same. And so, yeah.
Good. Okay, I'm still trying to formulate my answer.
Sure.
Well, we have some WhatsApps here. Gers V, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name. He or she says it's a fib.
Yep.
Yeah. So
thank you.
James, he says, Naz, my hunch is it's true. So
you know who James is, right?
Yes, James has always been the one that has all the correct answers so far. The one time I did not listen to him, I failed completely and I went for the wrong answer. And to be fair, again, this was back during the National Day one where we talked about the 3 band ladies.
Yep. Yeah,
so well, I'm still trying to form my opinion. But before that, maybe another question that I can try to coax out of you is, do you remember when do you remember how did you manage to end the conversation?
That is a really smart question because my biggest fear was I was making it a bit worse because he was getting so enthusiastic that I'm signing books and he's just making eye contact with me the whole time. But the name Neil Humphreys is everywhere.
Right.
But even he knows that Mr. Brown is an alias. So he just doesn't know what Mr. Brown's real name is. And don't forget, at this time, Mr. Brown's column was fairly new. Like maybe less than a year old, something like that.
Newer than yours?
Yeah. Mine was around for about 2 or 3 years and then we brought in Mr. Brown because he was fantastic. He had a blog and he was hilarious.
Okay.
My biggest fear was not that. My biggest fear was if he bought a book. That was my concern.
And then you signed it as Mr. Brown.
On the one hand, because it's a big author's no-no. I get this when I go to schools.
Yes.
When I go to schools, they'll always put like Captain Underpants in front of me or Wimpy Kid, and I never sign it.
Yes.
And you see them get a little bit upset.
Aww.
But I always sign something else. I sign them a bookmark or something. I always say, buy whatever book you like. You don't have to buy my book. That's fine. I'm just happy you're reading. But there's a thing, you don't sign other authors' books. It's just not nice because if that ever ends up on eBay or it just makes you look not very good.
Exactly.
So there's a golden rule. An author does not sign another person's book.
I think this should be part of your new book. The golden rules of authors.
Well, there you go. We don't do it, guys. It's just not a nice thing to do. So we don't pretend to be someone else. But luckily, he didn't. He was just walking through the store. He just made his conversation, said thank you. He said, "I look forward to your column next week," and then he left. And thank heavens.
Oh, okay. Fujiran says, I think it's fake because Mr. Brown wrote for another publication while Neil wrote for the Straits Times.
Not at the same time. Okay, full disclosure, because I want to clarify to Fujiren. I mean, I can say this now. Myself and Mr. Brown were writing for Today newspaper at the same time.
Ah, okay, because he name dropped that as well. So
I did write for the Straits Times after that. Yes. So Fujiren is absolutely correct.
Okay.
Absolutely correct on that. Except I was working, he got that part wrong. I was working with Today at the same time as Mr. Brown.
Wow, you people have lots of life experiences.
Right, we need an answer.
Okay, I'm going with my answer, and I think we have debated, went back and forth. I've tried to get my, my opinions out, but let's see. I think this is true, simply because it would make sense for people to mistake Neil and Mr. Brown. That is literally the only thing, because you brought up a good point. Back then, you guys did not really have your faces out there as much. And if you don't read the newspaper, you wouldn't be able to see who wrote stuff. So the answer is true.
That is a fantastic answer, Naz, because over the years, you are absolutely right that I have been mistaken for many different writers. I have been mistaken for Mr. Miyagi, who's another prominent blogger. I have been mistaken for Mr. Brown.
Okay.
And I have been mistaken for other writers in Singapore. Brian Miller was a famous football writer. I've been mistaken for him.
I already know where this answer is going already. I chose the wrong answer.
But this is absolutely Friday Night Fibbing. I made every part of it up, my friend. Every single word of that story was a fib.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.